You know that one big thing, that challenge you've always dreamed of tackling, but something just stops you? Well, today we're going to dive right into that feeling. We've got this powerful story about a boy, a mountain, and what it really means to be courageous.
So let me introduce you to our main character, a young boy named Rehan. And for Rehan, every single morning started the same way. He'd look out at this magnificent mountain, Mount Zafir, and just whisper to himself, "One day, I'll climb that." See, for him, that peak wasn't just rock and snow. No, it was everything. It was hope. It was his biggest dream just waiting for him.
But you know how things go. As Rehan got older, something started to change. That dream of his, well, a shadow kind of fell over it. The thing that used to inspire him, it started to feel like this massive wall, something he could never get over. It became a reminder of this one feeling that was getting stronger and stronger: fear.
And what's so wild is that the mountain itself didn't change one bit. It was still the same hunk of stone and ice it had always been. The change, the real change, happened inside Rehan's head. His perception totally shifted. That beautiful symbol of hope, it morphed into this giant wall, tall, cold, and impossible, a constant reminder of the fear that was building up inside him.
So you gotta ask, where did all this fear even come from? It wasn't like a switch just flipped. Nah, it was more like a slow drip, 1,000 little whispers of doubt. You know the kind. His friends would laugh like, "Dude, you can't even climb a tree." His parents, trying to protect him, said, "It's just too dangerous." Even his teacher told him, "You need to be more practical." And all those little comments, they burrowed their way in. They became his own inner voice, chipping away at that dream, piece by piece.
Okay, so fast forward a few years. Rehan is basically stuck. The mountain is still out there, just looming, like this big, silent reminder of the dream he'd let go of. And right when it seems like he's totally given up for good, a real turning point happens. A legendary mountaineer, a guy named Arif Khan, shows up, and he's about to completely flip the script on what fear is all about.
So there's this village meeting, and Arif is there, and Rehan, he somehow finds the nerve to ask the one question that's been eating at him his whole life. He thinks, this guy's a hero. He's got to be fearless, right? But the answer he gets, oh man, it is not what he was expecting at all.
Arif's answer just shatters everything Rehan thought he knew. He looks at Rehan and basically says, "Fear? I feel it every single time I climb." He tells him, "Look, fear isn't your enemy. That feeling is just part of being human. The real enemy is quitting." Think about that. Fear is just a reaction. It happens to you. But quitting? That's a choice you make.
And he doesn't stop there. He says, falling doesn't mean you failed. Quitting does. A slip-up, a setback, that's just part of the process. The only time you've actually failed is when you decide to stop trying. See, fear's only power is getting you to quit. The second you decide to push on, that's when fear starts to lose its power over you.
Now, hearing this doesn't magically make Rehan's fear disappear, but it totally changes how he sees it. It's like, for the first time ever, he sees a way through. He realizes it's time. He's not just going to climb a mountain. He's going to climb against himself, against that fear. The real battle, the internal one, is just getting started.
So there he is, standing at the foot of Mount Zafir. And of course, all those old voices start creeping back in. You're not strong enough. You're gonna fail. But this time is different. Something has clicked. He has a new thought, a new response for them. Yeah, maybe I will fail, but I'm never gonna know for sure unless I actually try. And that right there, that's a win in itself.
And let me tell you, the climb is just brutal. Every step is a fight. His legs are aching. His hands are trembling. The wind is just biting at him. His fingers are going numb. And then he slips. His arm is bruised, but that's not the worst part. The worst part is that flood of old voices coming back, screaming in his head, "See? Give up." But right there, in that moment of pure doubt, Rehan does something new. He stops. He looks down. He sees just how far he's already come. And that gives him this new burst of strength. He makes a choice, a real conscious decision to keep going. He turns what could have been the end into a moment of pure resolve.
And that resolve, it's what gets him through the rest of the climb. Through the cold, through the dark. Which brings us to the climax, the moment we've been waiting for. Rehan makes it to the top, and everything finally becomes crystal clear.
He's standing there, on top of the world, and he's just overwhelmed. The big realization hits him. He did it. He was scared the whole time,
But he didn't quit. His victory wasn't about getting rid of the fear. It was about feeling the fear and moving forward anyway. He didn't beat fear. He just refused to let it beat him.
So, when you boil it all down, Rehan's whole journey gives us a new definition of courage, right? It's not about being fearless. It's not some superpower. Courage is just a decision. It's that stubborn choice to take one more step, especially when every single part of you wants to turn back.
The big lesson here, what Rehan really learned, is that fear is kind of like a shadow. It can look massive, super intimidating, right? But it's got no real power on its own. It's the action, just the simple act of keeping on moving forward, that's like turning on a light. And when you do that, the shadow just shrinks.
And that brings everything back to you. Because let's be real, we all have a Mount Zephyr in our lives. That one dream, that big goal, that change that just feels way too high to climb. So I want you to think for a second. What's your mountain? What's the thing that fear is telling you not to even try? And are you ready to take that first step?